to the microphone and express their opinion. Each side will have a total of 10 minutes to speak. Development plans require a public hearing. However, no action will be taken by the Planning Commission members. Plats, rezonings, revised master plans, and street renamings require a public hearing, and once the public hearing is completed, Planning Commission members will deliberate and render their decision. Please note, Planning Commission members with a personal or financial interest in any petitioner's request are required to recuse themselves. I would like to take this opportunity to introduce the members of the Planning Commission. We have Buddy Harbert, Vice Chairman, Ann Clemens, Frank Cook, Clay McGinnis, Jerome Moore, Patrick Moss, Cruz Reeves, James Reed, and yours truly, Kippy Tate, your chairman. We do have a full house tonight. The Planning Control staff members are Helen Milligan, Robert Smith, James Center, and Tanya Ingram, recording secretary. Members and petitioners are requested to please speak directly into the microphone. The minutes are recorded for legal purposes, and this is the only way to accurately pick up audio. As I said before, we have a full house. We have 9 members present. It takes 5 votes to pass a motion. So I don't think you'll have a problem tonight with the number of people up here. Are there any changes to the agenda tonight, Tanya?
No, sir.
No?
No. Mike, turn me on. No, sir.
There are no changes to the agenda, so we'll proceed as printed. But before we do that, has the commission had an opportunity to review the minutes of the previous meeting? And if so, please make a motion at this time.
Motion to approve. Second.
Motion's been made and properly second. All in favor, please raise your hand. The minutes are recorded. So, Tanya, we're ready to go. It's on you.
First item is a Flowers and White Engineering representing Hampstead LLC, requesting final approval of Hampstead plat number 18C, located on the southwest corner of Longacre and Tavistock Street in a T4O district.
Okay, let's see what you want to talk to us about tonight.
Good evening. I'm Kenneth White with Flowers and White Engineering. I'm representing Hampstead LLC. Thanks, Tanya. This is a final plat 18C of Hampstead. It's simply moving an interior lot line. So I'm replating 2 lots into 2. I'm just sliding the interior lot line to the west slightly.
Okay, members of the commission, anyone have any questions or comments for KJ? Seeing none, are there any members of the audience who wish to speak for or against this item? Please come forward. Seeing none, a motion's in order.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion's been made and properly seconded. All in favor, raise your hand. Motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Item number 2 is Goodwin Mills and Kaywood, representing Montgomery Area Chamber of Commerce Foundation, Incorporated, requesting final approval of Business Resource Center, plat number 1, located on the east side of Sayre Street, approximately 170 feet south of Wilson Street in a T4R district.
Okay, we have your name, please, ma'am.
Hi, my name is Elizabeth Brasington.
Okay, Elizabeth, welcome.
I'm with Goodwin Mills and Kaywood on behalf of Montgomery Area Chamber of Commerce. Here presenting Business Resource Center plat number 1. It's being currently leased out to a cell phone company. They have some cell phone towers on that lot. How they currently access that lot right now is by a 20-foot access road easement coming from South Court Street. We're proposing this lot so that it can potentially be sold to that cell phone company, and they can have a potential driveway off of Sayre Street to have access directly to their cell phone towers.
Okay, thank you very much. Members of the commission, any questions or comments for Elizabeth?
So the existing easement will be vacated?
Yes, it will be.
Okay.
Cedric, do you need to come up here and help her out?
I'm trying.
Okay, so the easement will be vacated?
It will be vacated.
Okay, very good. Any other questions from the commission? Any members of the audience who should speak for or against this item? Seeing none, a motion's in order.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion's been made and properly second. All in favor, raise your hand. Motion passes. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next item.
Item number 3 is Pilgrim Engineering representing Ryan Ridge Properties, requesting approval of a revised master plan of Ryan Ridge located at the west end of Ryan Ridge Loop, approximately 140 feet west of Faith Lane in a PUD district. This will require your action.
It will require action. That's correct. That's my note. Hey, Pep, how's it going?
Oh, it's good for Christmas.
That's right. What do you want to talk to us about tonight?
Well, we've got Ryan Ridge, and we're redoing the master plan. That's not it, is it? Yeah, there you go. There's some wetlands on this site and some issues that have come up just in the last 20 years of regulation that we needed to change just so we could build it without having to interfere with a lot of this. So we've redone the master plan. This the site up there at the top actually has a cemetery on it, and they're just going to avoid the cemetery and let people get to it like they are.
Okay, so members of the commission, any questions or comments for Mr. Pilgrim? Pep, I do have one question. You said you're
Okay.
bordered by a cemetery. Is that, where is that in relationship to the drawing?
It's south of that red spot that you're
Okay.
looking at. It's south. That whole area goes down a big hill into a ravine.
Okay, got it. In the wetlands, how are you just working yourself around the edges of the wetlands?
Well, there's
around
some
the-
wetlands down around the ravine. We're just going to avoid it and give up.
Okay, very good.
And,
Any other questions?
Pep, this is the only change to the plat, just
Right. Right.
this new,
That little bit, yes.
Cul-de-sac
Right.
part.
To
Okay.
the overall master had been approved before.
okay, thank you.
Any other questions from the commission? What about the audience? Anyone in the audience who should speak for or against this item, please come forward. Seeing none, a motion's in order.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion's been made and properly second. All in favor, raise your hand. Motion passes. Thank you.
Item number 4 is by Pilgrim Engineering representing Ryan Ridge Properties, requesting preliminary approval of revised Ryan Ridge overall located at the west end of Ryan Ridge Loop, approximately 140 feet west of Faith Lane in a PUD district.
And this is just the revised overall showing that cul-de-sac like we just approved. And the next item is the plat itself of that overall.
So Tony, do we have to take any action on this item
Yes, sir.
and the next item?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. Members of the commission, any questions or comments for Mr. Pilgrim? Seeing none, any members of the audience who should speak for or against this item? Seeing none, a motion's in order.
Are you taking them both at one time, or you taking?
This is just,
Separately.
this is number 4.
I know, but are you taking
Independent.
4 and 5? Because you could.
Well, what's the desire or wishes of the commission? 4 and 5 together, or
Let's just do 4 and go on.
do 4 and go on? Well,
Move
that's,
move to approve.
all right. The motion's been made. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion's been made and properly second. All in favor, raise your hand. Motion passes. Thank you very much. Number 5.
Number 5, presented by Pilgrim Engineering representing Ryan Ridge Properties, requesting final approval of Ryan Ridge number 9, located at the west end of Ryan Ridge Loop, approximately 140 feet of west of Faith Lane in a PUD district.
And this is, number 5 is just the formal final plat of that location.
Okay, members of the commission, any questions or comments? Mr. Pilgrim? Seeing none, any members of the audience who should speak for or against this item, please come forward. Seeing none, a motion's in order.
Motion to approve. Second.
Motion's been made and properly second. All in favor, raise your hand. Motion passes. Thank you. Number 6.
We've got more. Pilgrim Engineering representing AUM Climate Control, for a public hearing for development plan for 4 new buildings to be added to an existing mini warehouse complex located at 3330 Malcolm Drive in a PUD zoning district.
Okay, this is a development plan, so no actions required from us over here, but it is a public hearing. So, members of the commission, do you have any questions or comments regarding this development plan?
Pep, I just have a question. Right across the street and around this is retail use. Was the PUD, did it originally intend for a mini warehouse here, or is this?
Honestly, I don't remember. There was something that had to do with that. Mr. Moore, my memory's not good to go back that far, but we built mini storage just south of it, and this was part of it. I don't remember, so I know we can do it. I just don't remember the details because there was something about business or mini storage, but honestly, I don't remember.
Is it climate control?
Half and half, kind of.
I think Tanya may can shed some historical knowledge on this.
In this PUD, this area was laid out for B3 commercial use, which allows
That
mini
allows it.
warehouses.
So flex space too? Okay. Interesting. It is a true mix because you've got offices right
Yeah.
across the street and retail right there in that
That's
same.
what a PUD does.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
Dubose.
What's that?
It's Dubose warehouse.
Oh, is it? Okay. Good.
Jerome, you satisfied?
I am. It's all planned out.
All right. Any other comments or questions from the commission? Any members of the audience who should speak for or against this item, please come forward. Seeing none, we'll declare a public hearing has been held. Thank you very much. Next item, please.
Pilgrim Engineering requesting final approval of Billingsley Place Commercial Number 2A located on the west side of Malcolm Drive and the east side of Kessinger Drive in a PUD zoning district.
This is replatting the lots. There were 4 individual lots. We're going to replat it into just one large lot.
Members of the commission, any questions or comments from Mr. Pilgrim? Any members of the audience who should speak for or against this item, please come forward. Seeing none, a motion's in order.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion's been made and properly second. All in favor, raise your hand. Motion passes. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Number 8, Pilgrim Engineering representing Melrose Properties requesting final approval of Melrose Plat Number 2, located between Vaughn Road and Wisdomwood Road at the north end of Melbourne Circle and at the east end of Melbourne Circle in a PUD.
This is approving the plat that's part of our overall plat. It doesn't take in all of our lots, but it's just a final plat based on our approved overall.
Thank you, Pep. Any members of the audience, any members of the commission wish to speak for or against this item? You got a member of the audience? Please come forward, sir. Give us your name, please.
Dennis Leatherwood. I live on Wisdomwood Road, and we were here the last time we presented this. I'm trying to make sure I see where Wisdomwood Road is on there.
It's
but I
not
don't-
part of it.
Oh,
It
it's
just
not part
says-
of this?
No, we're just platting the lots up behind the existing lots.
Oh,
You see to the bottom right where that road sticks out to the
Yep.
right, that's where it turns and comes to Wisdomwood.
okay. So you're not working on Wisdomwood Road right now?
No.
Okay. We thought you were, so that's why we
No,
were
we're
here.
just platting up in the subdivision itself.
Okay.
We'll get there later.
So
Come
you'll
back.
get there later. Okay, let me make a comment here. We, last time we were here, you said that you would take care of the construction entrance and restrict the people from going in on the trucks on Wisdomwood Road. That happened, and we appreciate it so much. So we thank you and the work you did.
I appreciate you telling me.
Mr.
If they hadn't done it, I know you'd have called me anyway.
We would, but we appreciate it.
So,
Thank
Mr. Leatherwood, are you satisfied?
Yes, sir, I'm satisfied. We'll be back when you start working on Wisdomwood Road.
Very good. I look
Okay.
forward to seeing you
One item
then.
on that one.
Is it now?
No.
Okay.
We'll talk about that when you come back.
All right.
Very good. Any other members of the audience wish to speak for or against this item, please come forward. Seeing none, a motion's in order.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion's been made and properly second. All in favor, raise your hand. Motion passes. Thank you. Next item.
Item number 9, Peel Green Engineering representing George Goodwin Jr. will request final approval of Summerhill Plat Number 9 located at the northeast corner of Young Meadows Road and Berrydale Drive in a PUD.
This is the final plat of what we had approved several months ago in Summerhill. Three locations we rezoned land. This is one of the plats to do that work.
Thank you. Any members of the commission wishes to comment or question this item? Seeing none, any members of the audience wish to speak for or against this item, please come forward. Seeing none, a motion is in order.
So moved.
Second.
Motion's been made and properly seconded. All in favor, raise your hand. Patrick, you voted? Thank you. Motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Item number 10, Peel Green Engineering representing George Goodwin Jr. requesting final approval of Summerhill Plat Number 10 located along Young Meadows Road and Tristan Way in a PUD.
And this is the last two little pieces that we rezoned before as a separate plat.
Any members of the commission have any questions or comment for PEP? Any members of the audience wish to speak for or against this item, please come forward. Seeing none, a motion is in order.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion's been made and properly second. All in favor, raise your hand. Motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Item number 11, Larry E. Speaks and Associates representing Mike Ashcraft requesting to rezone one parcel of land containing located on the east side of Wetumpka Highway, approximately 200 feet south of Old Wetumpka Highway, from an Ag 2 district to an M3 district.
Stephen Speaks with Larry Speaks and Associates representing Mr. Ashcraft. He couldn't be here this evening. We're proposing to rezone this. It's less than 1 acre parcel of, and you can see it on the aerial photo. It is previously used as a daycare facility. That is no longer being used currently right now. We're proposing to use it as a doggy daycare facility. Basically, we're going to go from kids to dogs, but to do that, we've got to get it zoned for a kennel to be able to do that. And that's the reason to move to an M3, and M3 will allow an animal clinic to go in that facility. So that's the reason in the rezoning.
Okay. Interesting. Does DHR have to approve this?
Not to my knowledge. Now, I can ask the vet. The vet's here. John Keller is the one proposing to use it. I don't think so, though.
I wasn't actually being serious about it. Any members of the commission who wish to speak or ask any questions or have any comments on this item?
Since it's got road frontage and it's going from into M3, could we ask for a qualified zoning on this one?
You sure could.
Would you guys have a problem with qualifying it for that use to change the zoning?
No, if it's a kennel, I mean, that's his intended use.
Yeah, I think that would be smart just because it is an entrance corridor and it needs to look right. And, you know, you don't want something that otherwise would be approved M3 that would be a much different use.
Well, the good thing is it's less than 1 acre. You really can't do much M3, you know, any kind of hard industrial warehouse, anything like that. But that's fine if that's what y'all want to do. Now, I do want to make sure we include all of B2 now, because M3 includes B2. So if he wants to use it as a business, I'd want to include all that in it. So not just the kennel. So what I'm saying, it's zoned to Ag 2 now. They're kind of grandfathered in because we're in the PJ, we're not in the city limits. It's zoned Ag 2. The previous use is a daycare. If he wants to put a convenience store there, B2, whatever, he'd like that function to be able to do that if the doggy daycare moves out, if that makes sense. That makes sense?
Yeah, I understand. I understand it.
Because M3 allows anything in a B2 okay, is a general business side, and we've got B2 all around us.
So you want B2 qualified
if you want
with
to
an M3
qualify,
for this? You want a B2 zoning really with a qualification for a doggy daycare?
No, I want to, really what I want is M3, but if you want to, I want M3 qualified to use anything in B2 and a kennel facility. We could qualify it that way.
So really you're qualifying the M3?
You're qualifying the M3, see,
Not B2.
and that covers all my B2 stuff, is what I'm saying, because, I mean, basically, I mean, he's not going to put a coal yard, lumber yard, auto wrecking, you know, storage facilities. You don't have space for any of that, so it's okay if you qualify it, because he's not going to do that. He doesn't have the room for it. That's what's all allowed in an M3. You know, we can't do cold storage, ice plants, bottling, distribution facilities. We can't do any of that on a less than acre parcel, but if you want to qualify, he's okay with that.
Well, Mr. Moore, what's your pleasure?
Well, if no one else has any questions, I say we, you know, I'd make a motion that we approve with the qualification, approve the M3 with the qualification that.
Okay, we're a little bit ahead of ourselves
okay. Well,
because we got to go to the audience first,
Sure.
but we do understand what your concerns are, and we still have a chance to discuss it. Any members of the commission have any further comments or questions? Seeing none, we'll turn to the audience. Anyone in the audience who should speak for or against this item, please come forward. Seeing none, now, Mr. Moore, you can make your motion in the fashion that you desire.
I'll try to articulate it, but basically, you're going to get the B3 zone, the M3 zoning with the qualification for the use as a doggy daycare. And it will also encompass any B2 use.
Basically, animal clinic, kennel, is that okay?
That's fine.
Does that make sense, Helen?
The language that's applicable
right.
to
Does that cover us, Helen?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
All right, well, let's do this one more time so we're perfectly clear.
Gotcha.
Let's try it again, Mr. Moore.
All right. I'm going to try this. I make a motion that we zone this, rezone it from ag to M3 with the qualification that you can have an animal clinic there.
Very good.
And that it also encompasses the B2 zoning should you want to change that use at some point in time in the future.
Excellent.
That's right.
Is there a second?
I think that's fair.
Second.
Yeah.
Motion's been made and properly second. All in favor, raise your hand. That's everybody. Motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next item.
Number 12, Larry Speaks and Associates representing Mashburn RV Park. It's a public hearing for development plan for the use of 3 existing buildings, 3 new buildings, and a recreational vehicle park to be located on the southwest and southeast corners of Shady Street and Lenore Street in an M3 district.
Stephen Speaks again, representing Mr. Mashburn. We came before y'all a couple months ago to rezone portions of this property for use as an RV park. This is the development plan for that RV park. We've actually scaled down the park slightly from that original zoning map. We're actually not going to do anything over here across the street now. So it's just a little over 5 acres that they're proposing to develop here. Shady Street's on the north side, comes around and enters into the Capital Oyster Bar here on the river, and then Lenore Street, Joseph Street. As part of this, just more information, we're going to vacate Lenora and Joseph Streets so they can gate this off for security purposes. But that is the proposed development plan.
Well, this is a public hearing for the development plan, so members of the commission, any questions or comments on this item?
You're not vacating the way to get to the oyster bar, are you?
Oh, no, we got to get to the oyster bar. He's actually doing some things, just so y'all know. There's some boat storage along the entrance. He's going to move that over to the other side and then improve the parking.
Clean it up a little bit.
We're going to do some parking improvements and stuff. So, and then this will all be fenced off, and then the oyster bar will be over here separate. Yes, sir.
So the only way to enter and exit the oyster bar and the ramp would be Shady Street?
That is correct. Shady comes down, you come off the boulevard, Shady wraps around. That'll stay the same. And then when you come off Lenora, you'll come straight south. You'll cross Shady, come in. That'll be the entrance to the RV park. And then you'll circulate through and then come back out the same way.
How many RV spots are
I
y'all
believe it's
projecting?
30, if I'm not mistaken.
It's
I
on
think
there.
it's in
Oh,
the
it's
write-up someplace. I lost count because we kept changing.
It's on there. I remember
It's on
reading
there.
it.
30.
30, that's it. I thought it was. That's right. Yes, sir.
Clay, you satisfied?
I am.
Okay.
David, just out of curiosity, what kind of fence are you guys putting up? Is it
I
a
can-
barrier fence?
I'll ask Lewis. Lewis, have you thought about what kind of fence? What kind of fence? The question is what kind of fence you're trying to put up around the perimeter.
Evergreen. We're going to do it in
Louis, you'll need to come up to the microphone, please, sir,
Come
if you don't mind.
That's all right. Yeah, we'll be doing it in trees, evergreens. We're going to build a border around the whole thing in pretty trees. It's going to be nice.
You think you're going to do chain link fence, or what are you going to do? What kind of fence?
Oh, like it behind the parking lot?
Along Shady Street and then along behind the parking lot.
No, it's going to be trees that'll be grown together. We're planning where they grow together, so it really won't be fence. It'll be border, of green giants. And I've been researching trees that'll grow fast and grow together, how far to plant them. So I plan to do it out of greenery, instead of a chain link fence. It'll be a solid wall of.
What are you saying is a natural barrier?
Thank you, sir. Natural barrier.
There you go. There you go.
Yes, sir.
Now, Louis, I got a request from you before you sit down, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. I got a request for you before you sit down, all right? But just stay right there.
Yes, sir.
Any other questions from the commission on this item? This is a public hearing, so is there anyone out in the audience who wish to speak for or against this item? Seeing none, this is a public hearing. Public hearing has been held. But Louis, before you go, can you sing "You Wish You a Merry Christmas"?
I catch it.
Just like that song with the commercial.
I catch a lot of grief about that.
I'm just kidding with you. You don't
I know
have to
you
do
are.
that.
Thank y'all. Hey, I tell everybody, come to church Sunday, you hear me sing.
I got you. Well, hopefully this works out well for you. Thank you very
sir.
much. We have one more item related to this, and that's the last item for tonight. So let's go, Mr. Speaks.
Yeah, the last item, you want to read, Tanya?
Yeah, it's a request for final approval of the Mashburn RV Park Plat Number 1, located at the southwest and southeast corners of Shady Street and Lenore Street in the M3 district.
And this is the actual plat for the RV park, 5.44 acres, which will encompass the whole parcel of land. This is the plat, including the vacated right-of-way of the streets at 5.44 acres.
Very good. Members of the commission, any questions or comments on this item? Seeing none, any members of the audience wish to speak for or against this item, please come forward. Motion's in order.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion's been made and properly seconded. All in favor, please raise your hand. That's it. Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank y'all.
Appreciate it.
This concludes our agenda for tonight. We wish each of you a Merry Christmas and see you in 2018. Meeting's adjourned. And a Happy New Year. That's correct.